Today we are talking about everyone's favorite room in the home, the kitchen. This is my favorite space to design because it sets the tone for every other space. And it's the heart of the home. It's where we all spend the most time together. I had this vision of an English-inspired kitchen, but with modern functionality. So that's where we took it. When designing a kitchen, I think it's really important to list out your top priorities and then work from there. So for me, having an unlacquered brass faucet was a non-negotiable. We partnered with Kohler for all the plumbing throughout our home. We actually worked with Kohler's sister brand, Callista, on this so that we could get this perfect unlacquered brass finish. I love that it will patina over time and it ties in with our interior door hardware. And I love the shape. I love that it's a bridge faucet. It has some interesting details, but then it has this kind of square arc here that still feels modern. I really wanted a big farmhouse sink in our kitchen. So we did the Whitehaven from Kohler, and I love a drip edge detail. This is something that we'll do in wood often underneath a farmhouse sink, and then it catches any spillage that happens when you're doing dishes and protects your cabinetry. I wanted to do this in a different way, so I actually did a marble drip edge across the bottom, and I love how this turned out. We did the coordinating pot filler back here, which I've never had in a kitchen, and I am absolutely loving it. One to fill up for cooking, but also to fill up vases for flowers. And this sits above my other dream list item, which was a LeConte range. This beautiful work of art was a splurge, but for me, this was the focal point here. It comes from France, and it took about 6 months to get here, and it was worth the wait. We went with the double oven, and we have a griddle, and Sid makes the kids chocolate chip pancakes every single morning. In fact, it's kind of dirty still from this morning. We went with a color called Chantilly, which is the soft white, and then it has the silver and the brass, and then that really ties in a lot of the metals that we have working throughout our home. The next item on my wish list was marble countertops. There was pretty much no convincing me. Sid could have tried to say, we need something more durable, and I would not have listened because I just love the look of real marble. And we got this Calcutta Oro slab from Bedrosians, and it just has this beautiful gray and kind of gold veining throughout it. We have that across our entire island, and then up the backsplash, and even on these floating shelves here. Yes, it gets a little bit of etching and scratching. I don't care. It's been in Italy for thousands of years, and it is worth every little hassle. We did 2 different countertop thicknesses in our kitchen. So I wanted a very thin and delicate countertop on this back wall, and then a thicker one on our island. I mixed those to give a more custom look, and then we coordinated the island with the shelves. So these are the same thickness. When designing a kitchen, we typically always start with the range and the hood as the focal wall, and then we build out from there. Tyler is awesome. He drew our entire range wall to scale so I could see and make any changes on things before things get really serious. I knew I wanted a plaster hood that had a delicate slope to it and a really great texture. And then I wanted to frame out the edges of our kitchen because we don't have walls on either side, and I wanted to create balance and symmetry, so we did these really tall cabinets with latches on either side. When it comes to the cabinetry design, I wanted a shaker detail, and then we added this little cove bead around the profile of the cabinetry. And we worked with Killowen on the build of our home, and he also does custom cabinetry, so he helped bring that custom detail to life. I wanted a mix of hardware throughout the kitchen, so we worked with R. Martin. They are an English company, and they had this beautiful unlacquered brass knob that is so heavyweight. I just love it. So we did knobs, cup pulls, latches, and then these really long pulls on our integrated refrigerator. From the beginning, I always wanted putty colored cabinetry. When I say putty, I just mean this kind of creamy color on the surround. We have this 13-foot island, and I felt like if I was to do the same color on everything, it would just fall a little flat. But my original plan was to go with a light wood that matched our floors. Well, got into the space, they put the island in, and I just knew in my gut that it wasn't right. We needed something that felt different, a little bit more saturated. We went back and found the perfect stain that was a dark brown, a rich tone that didn't pull too warm or too black. I wanted to add a little bit of asymmetry. I just felt like with all of this symmetry happening around the focal point that we needed to add in something to just throw it off just a little bit. Things that get too perfect feel a little boring. So we went and created this piece so it feels more like a piece of furniture. It's open. I wanted not chunky legs, very delicate ones, and I wanted them to be able to store plates and dishes and bowls and all of that good stuff. And I love that it breaks up all the closed cabinetry. Across the back of our island, we integrated all of the functional things that you need in a working kitchen. So the trash can is hidden behind what looks like 2 drawers. And the ultimate luxury in this kitchen is we did 2 dishwashers, one on either side of the sink, and they are also integrated into the cabinetry. Adding character and materials with history was an important part of designing a new kitchen that still referenced the past. And a few years ago, I was on eBay at like 1 a.m. and looking for pocket doors because I thought, how cool would it be to have these symmetrical pocket doors on either side of our range. We actually built the framing of our kitchen to fit these beauties. We left them raw. They're over 100 years old. I still need to find the hardware to go right here, but they tuck in and can hide our pantry and our bedroom when they get really messy, or we can open them up like we do most days so we can go in and out. I actually did 2 different backsplash materials in our kitchen. So yes, we did the slab on this range wall, but on the refrigerator wall, we did this beautiful clay tile. And I love the texture and the movement, and it also ties in with the backsplash that we did in the pantry and really brings the 2 spaces together. We will share more of the pantry on the blog. To round out the finishes in this space, I had my heart set on these beautiful green leather and gold pendants. I loved the angular shape, the scale, and I feel like that little touch of green goes a long way. We also did these great stools from McGee & Co. And I wanted them to feel a little bit industrial, and I love that they have a swivel, and so do my kids. The last thing I want to talk about are the finishing styling touches that we did. I am a vintage collector, and I have been keeping boards and pitchers and bowls for years, and so this was my time to incorporate all of those pieces. This I've had for probably 6 or 7 years. I have this vintage dough bowl here. Sometimes I'll put fruit in it so the kids can grab it easily. Probably my favorite piece in the whole kitchen though is this little tiny painting on an easel. And I think all of those details are what bring it to life. Thanks for joining me in my kitchen today. We will be sharing sources and details and a whole lot more information on the blog.